Hello everybody, welcome to EduTap and also welcome to another session on government scheme. The scheme that we are covering today it is National Fellowship for OBC, and the scheme is important for all the examination where Ministry of Social Justice and Empowerment or Ministry of Education they have their role in the syllabus, they have the weightage in the syllabus. And why are we studying about this particular scheme? Because see, it was recently in news. This particular scheme, it is of December, and okay, so all right, so this scheme was mentioned in December, and basically in this, whatever be the fellowship or the financial assistance in terms of crore per year was provided, all the data. That data is not important from the examination perspective. Never it had been asked, never it will be asked in future. But because the scheme was in detail covered, so that is why we will understand that in today's session. So let's start. But before that, here's an announcement for all the aspirants who are preparing for central regulatory bodies. We have come up with one-stop solution guide to all the queries that you must be having regarding the organization you want to join. For example, if you want to know more about RBI NABARD SEBI, about its role in India's economy, what is its hierarchy, what will be your role once you join the organization, everything has been comprehensively covered along with everything about the recruitment process. So how many phases are there, what is the pattern of each phase, what is the syllabus, what is the previous year cutoff trends, and what it says about examination difficulty level, everything has been covered. And at the end, for you, we have given some steps that you can follow which will help you to boost your preparation if you're going for self studies. So do not miss the opportunity. You can download these e-guidebooks which are free of cost from the link that is provided in the description box below. All right, now let's just start and talk about this particular scheme. So see, every year, actually twice a year, you must have heard of net JRF examination that helps, right? And in that, there are two categories. One is like net qualified, one is JRF qualified, right? So it's like only a few percentage, like very limited percentage, I think it's 1 or 6% who are actually able to clear JRF examination. And if you have cleared JRF examination, then you can actually you get financial assistance by the government for the research that you are doing. Okay, so JRF का category ये होता है that you should have done post graduation, and within those 2 years your post graduation should be completed. So JRF is valid for 2 years, and after that, which is junior research fellowship. So from the name itself you can understand. And then after JRF you have the opportunity to appear for SRF, that is senior research fellowship. So in that also for 3 years you get some amount. So overall this time period, the financial assistance which is known as fellowship, it is for 5 years. Okay, 2 years for JRF and 3 years for SRF, right? So if somebody is going for PhD, so they can avail the financial benefits or fellowship for 5 years. But if somebody is going for MPhil, then in that case only for 2 years this particular validity is there, right? For 2 years financial assistance will be provided. For MPhil 2 years, PhD 5 years. And how this 5 years, it is segregated: 2 years for JRF, 3 years for SRF. All right, so now what happened in general condition, where only 1%, very few percentage of per subject people are able to clear JRF. So government thought that to the backward OBC students, to who belong to the other backward class students, there should be another merit list that should be released. So one is done by UGC for humanities subject or social science. UGC, they come up with their net JRF examination, and they declare a merit list where the names are given, right? And for the social science we have a joint examination that is by UGC CSIR, and net का जो joint examination होता है for science subjects. All right, and science people, they give this particular examination, and the one who are with humanities background, they give the above one, right? Now what happened, they come up with the merit list, and that merit list, it already have its segregation category wise, jo reservation category wise, right? But government wanted to boost the SC, ST, OBC also, and for every they have different categories, right? For SC, ST they have another scheme. Today we are discussing about OBC scheme, because for OBC student scheme, because it was in news. All right, so another merit list comes where the people are selected, right? And they are being provided with the scholarship. Okay, so this scheme is all about that, to the students who have cleared net JRF examination or UGC CSIR, the examination that is conducted by UGC CSIR institute. Okay, for the research for the JRF or SRF for research purpose, and whoever clear JRF SRF, they have some financial assistance which is known as fellowship from the government. And the another merit list is published for OBC student. Now how many, how much, I will share slide by slide, but to give you a brief understanding, then one more merit list along with the one merit list that is published by UGC, and if they have OBC category and people who have cleared you at that particular category, they will get their separate scholarship, right? But some people who could not end up to that particular merit list, then another merit list is published where such candidates who have good score but they could not end up into the initial first merit list, they are given benefit. Okay, I hope it's very clear. It's very simple thing to understand. Okay, so under this scheme they will be given benefit. So this scheme was launched in the financial year 2014-15 जो आपका जो financial year था, in that particular year the scheme was launched. And here, because we are providing the justice to a certain section of society so that they can get an opportunity to engage in research field, so that is why the particular scheme, it falls under the Ministry of Social Justice and Empowerment. ठीक है, talking about the aim, so here aim is to provide a total number of 1000 JRF scheme per year. You have to keep in mind that how many people will get selected, or to how many OBC student, apart from, see, some of them might end up to the initial first merit list that is published by UGC. Now this is for the specific scheme. Then another merit list is published, and here if anybody has already gotten scholarship, that's fine, that's good. But apart from that, 1000 more OBC people will get the scholarship or fellowship, you can say fellowship for the research work. Okay, why is it important? See, you have to understand that whatever research is done, whatever the conclusion of that research will be, that will ultimately help the government and India to prosper, to progress, right? So even government, they do what? They promote people to go into research. Now research is a tedious task and it is very time consuming, right? And it requires a lot of concentration, and it is also it also takes it takes longer time also. It's time consuming also, right? Now during that time period, if the researcher does not have money, how is going to survive? How, or maybe because it sometimes it takes time, maybe he have to start a family, right? So how would he take care of him as well as his family? Okay, so that is why for research, whoever cleared JRF SRF and they are engaged in a research work, government provide with some financial assistance. All right, so the normal scenario of getting financial assistance for JRF SRF is same, and here also now more so than more OBC people, they can come forward, aspirants, they can come ahead and they can study. So for them the particular scheme has been launched. ठीक है, simple सी बात है, ठीक है. And nodal agency is your UGC, so who would be taking care of whatever be, you know, the distribution of the finances has to be done, that will be done by UGC. And why this promotion is doing government of for OBC students, so that they can undertake advanced studies or the research that will lead to MPhil and PhD degrees. ठीक है, simple सी बात है. What is the eligibility? So only those are eligible who could end up into the final merit list, right? So those who have qualified the NET examination, if they belong to humanities or social science background, or if they have science background, so UGC का CSIR जो होता है, they come up with a joint test, so they would have to clear that. ठीक है, so eligibility, whoever have qualified, whoever ended up into the merit list that was again published for this particular scheme, they will get the benefit. ठीक है. Now what are some of the key features? For example, if somebody has cleared, until how many years they can claim the benefit. Okay, so for example, I cleared the examination, right? I belong to OBC, right? Now I want to, there's a validity also, right? So that validity period is of how many years? Of 3 years. Okay, with effect, कब से effect होगा? From the date of the issue of JRF letter, right? So since the time you have gotten a JRF award or letter that okay, you are eligible under the scheme, so you have this validity period of 3 years, that within 3 years you can take the benefit. Like you can start off with the research work and you will get the money for it, okay, or the fellowship you will get, right? But sometime it might be the case that the person has already started MPhil PhD. For example, I belong to the OBC, I was a OBC student, and because I was so much interested in research, or I wanted to pursue PhD or MPhil, that even without even if I was not getting money anywhere, I still joined an institute so that I could carry on my research work, right? So some people are that much enthusiast for research, right? So even though they are not having money, they're still giving their all for that particular research work, right? So in case of such candidates who are unemployed but who have joined MPhil PhD projects, right, in that case, what particular date will be taken into consideration for them to avail the benefits or fellowship under the scheme? Okay, either the date of commencement of fellowship, means when it will be considered, either the date of declaration of the result by the organization, or the date of their joining, right? Whatever the date of their joining will be, like for example, I joined any institute on 15th of January 2024, right? One date is this, right? So my date of joining, and another is that whenever the declaration of result was done. Okay, koi मान लो, for example, I joined any institute on 15th of January 2024 and result came on 1st of February 2024, right? So the later one is which date? The later one is the 1st February 2024 date, right? So that will be considered for providing the fellowship. Okay, so if in that is the case, if you have already joined a particular institution. Okay, अब another thing is that a student who have now, or who are now availing the benefit under the scheme, they are not entitled for any other scholarship. What does it mean? For example, if I was a OBC who was already in the first merit list, I am not eligible under the scheme, right? Or maybe I could not end up in the first merit list, but now under the particular scheme another merit list came and I became eligible for this. So now if I become eligible for this, now any another state or government scheme that provides fellowship for the research work to the OBC student, or normally even to the student, any student, I am not eligible for that, right? So what does it mean? Only the fellowship can be taken from only one source. All right, another thing is that after 2 years, because see JRF, it is of 2 years, right? So after 2 years progress will be checked, and it will be checked that how your research work that is going on. If it is found satisfactory, then it is further extended for the further of 3 years, that is your SRF. ठीक है, तो JRF 2 साल का, if it is satisfactory, your it feels because government is giving you the money, they want to see that if your research work is going somewhere or not, or is it worthy or not, right? So after 2 years your progress will be checked, and if you have some good particular development or progress in that, so for further 3 years the extension will be done for the senior research fellowship. Okay, another, now some of the key features: the total period of the award, this fellowship award that will be given to you, it will not extend beyond 5 years, right? Because JRF 2 years, SRF 5 years, simple si baat hai. ठीक है, and one more thing, it has been said that of the overall seats that are there, right, 5% will be that will be reserved for the students with disabilities, right? So जो overall आपकी 1000 seats है, 5% they will be reserved for the disability. And if any person is already employed, देखो एक और case होता है, if I am employed in some company, but now I have taken some exceptional leaves because I wanted to pursue MPhil or PhD, right? So there are various scenarios where a person can be working in an organization, but they take some these extraordinary leaves. There is a term which is known as this, where what happens, you can take leave for certain years, and in those years you can pursue MPhil or PhD, right? But technically I'm an employed person, right? Even though I have taken leave, or maybe I'm not getting money for it, for the leave that I have taken, but still I am employed, right? So I will not be eligible for this particular scheme. Okay, and also only those who are doing, or you can say regular or जो PhD MPhil regular कर रहे हैं in an institute, only those are eligible. ठीक है, what does it mean? If I'm already employed and I've taken some leave to pursue my MPhil, for example, I am not eligible because technically I am employed. This particular schemes target those students who cannot afford a particular like living, you can say, right? Initially, if you look at when the particular scheme was launched back in 2014-15, at that time, in fact, they had an annual income criteria that annual income should be less than 6 lakh of the family per annum. However, the revised guideline which came in 2021, there is no such mention. That is why I have not mentioned this particular factor in the particular slides. However, I just want to convey this to you. ठीक है, तो यहाँ पे क्या, employees shall be excluded and only the people who have done regular MPhil and PhD, they will be eligible. ठीक है, अब कितनी फेलोशिप मिलेगी पर ईयर? 1000 पर ईयर मिलेगी. एंड देर इज अ कैटेगराइजेशन. वी नो वन नेट JRF इज फॉर ह्यूमैनिटीज बैकग्राउंड एंड अनदर UGC CSIR किसके लिए? जो कि साइंस बैकग्राउंड के लिए. तो नेट JRF के लिए जो 1000 पर ईयर जो भी आपकी नंबर ऑफ फेलोशिप आएंगी, द टोटल नंबर ऑफ फेलोशिप, द 750 विल बी फॉर द ह्यूमैनिटीज नेट JRF and for the science background 250 per year. In addition to, please keep in mind, there is another merit first that comes by UGC only. This is the additional merit list that comes. ठीक है, please do not get confused. And the thing that we have already discussed, that these slots, these 1000 per year, these are over and above the OBC student who are already selected under the normal reservation policy, means a normal merit list that has come. Okay. And what is the rate of fellowship that you are going to get? So this is revised. These are the revised one. If you will look at official guideline, they still show the previous one, but from 2023 this money has been revised. Initially for JRF, which is for 2 years, right? So for initial 2 years the money that was previously given was 31,000, but now it has been, from 2023 onwards, it has been increased to 37,000 per month. Please keep in mind, this is per month. I will update this before you will get the PDF. So for 2 years, every month the researcher will get 37,000, and for the next 3 years, for the rest of the time period, next 3 years, initially it was 35,000 that the person was getting, but now from 2023 onwards, the revised data says that now the money is 42,000 per month that the person will be getting. And if as per the UGC pattern, there is hostel accommodation also. So if the hostel accommodation it is not provided to the researcher, then in that case they will get house rent allowance also, but that will depend from the from place to place according to the UGC pattern. ठीक है, तो वो भी additional payable हो जाएगा. ठीक है, so that was all about this scheme. It was a very short scheme. Okay, so this is again the news all about. ठीक है, ये सारा detail we have already studied. It was already mentioned here. Now this is a homework for you all. Try to attempt it. And these are the toppers of the last session. 50% of you said the right answer. 50% of you said the wrong answer. To the ones who gave the answer all of the above, that was wrong, because I have mentioned that special incentive has increased from 2.5 lakh to 5 lakh, but that was not the case. That was the normal incentive that has increased. ठीक है, as Kinshuk has also said that the normal incentive has been extended from 2.5 to 5 lakh, not special as mentioned in the question. So please be very mindful when you are reading a particular question. Such small information can cost you marks. All right, so Kinshuk said the right answer. Welcome Kinshuk. Murali, thank you. Welcome. We have Pratik saying the right answer. Welcome. And Kritika saying the right answer. Then Yogesh saying the right answer and explanation. Kritika also gave the explanation. Ankit, welcome, and gave the right answer. DHP said the right answer. Welcome. Gagan said the right answer. And Raj, and we have Shiva saying the right answer. We have Priyanka saying the right answer, and Divya saying the right answer. Jyoti, and then saying the right answer. User, I think you meant Swanidhi Yojana. Swanidhi I have recently covered like few months back, so I usually at least keep a 1 year gap between repetitive, you can say, before I repeat a particular scheme. So because this was I think in June or July only I have done, so that is why currently I will not pick it up. If you'll just scroll down a bit, you will find this the session on this already made, and current affair is something that you have to be key updated, right? But all the data present there, it is valid for now also. Happy said the right answer. So Rohit asked me that why I am not covering PM Suryodaya Yojana, which has been recently launched by our Prime Minister, right? See, I searched about it when it was launched, but the problem is that we do not have detailed guidelines for it. I have replied you also, but I added this particular question so that other people can also have the idea why I am not covering the recently launched, if any, scheme, because the detailed guidelines are not there. It just has been announced that okay, this scheme has been launched. So until the time we do not have any detailed information, there is no use of making a complete session dedicated session for the government scheme, because this is currently like a current affairs that okay, the scheme has been launched, but when we will get the detail, then we will cover it in our government scheme session. I hope you have the clarity now. Aditya said the right answer, Rohan said the right answer, Harshita, Narayan said the right answer, and Ankit also said the right answer. Apart from that, Ranjan said the right answer, Divya said the right answer, Rohit said the right answer, Astha, Shushmita said the right answer, Swagat said the right answer, and Nitu said the right answer. So that is all in this video. If you like the video, please let me know in the comment section, and if you want me to cover any scheme, do let me know. If I have not covered it, or if it is in recent news, I will definitely cover. If there is some reason I'm not covering it, I'll definitely share with you, so that you have the understanding why I am not doing that, right? And if you want to get the PDF of this particular lecture, you can join a Telegram channel. So that is all. Thank you everybody for joining, and we'll meet again with another video. Until then, all the very best for your exam.